When people think of Turkey, one image, majestic and singular, appears again and again. It is a city of impossible beauty, a colossal gateway perched between two continents. An ancient stage where history's most dramatic scenes were played out. We see the silhouette of mosques at sunset, their minarets piercing the twilight. We hear the mournful yet soothing sound of ferries cutting through the sapphire waters of the Bosphorus, carrying souls from east to west. That city, of course, is Istanbul, the queen of cities, Constantinople. But here is the uncomfortable truth, a truth that unlocks the real depth of this nation. Istanbul is not the real face of Türkiye. And if your knowledge of this country is limited to its walls, its markets, and its famous towers, you are missing almost everything that truly defines the Turkish spirit. You are reading only the headline of an epic 1,000-page book. From the outside, Türkiye often looks deceptively simple. The global lens shrinks it down to a few recognizable points. One famous city, one uniform culture, one dominant story, a single political narrative. But the moment you step outside the international terminal, this simplicity dissolves. Inside, Türkiye is profoundly, wonderfully complicated. It is layered, resilient, and deeply contradictory. Istanbul became famous because, for centuries, it was an empire's capital, a greedy, magnetic force field drawing the world to itself. But empires, by their nature, are the exception in history, not the rule. They are a brief, dazzling fever. The vast majority of Türkiye was never imperial in that grand, centralizing sense. It was, and remains, fiercely local, predominantly rural. Its heart beats in the soil, deeply connected to the rhythm of the land and the ironclad continuity of tradition. This is a land of quiet villages and sprawling plateaus, where life is governed not by decrees from a palace, but by the seasons, the rain, and the ancient wisdom of farming. To understand Türkiye, you must leave the palace and walk the fields. Türkiye has 81 administrative provinces, or cities. But travel across it for a month and you will quickly realize it feels like far more than that. It feels like a collection of distinct countries sewn together under one flag. The geography dictates the soul. In the west, along the Aegean coast, cities like Izmir and Bodrum look unapologetically toward the west, their architecture and cuisine echoing Mediterranean Europe. In the south, life is baked in the golden light of the Mediterranean sun. Cities like Antalya and Mersin thrive on citrus, sea, and ancient ruins that whisper of Roman and Greek dominion. Travel east, and the massive snow-capped mountain ranges, the descendants of the Taurus and Caucasus, define everything. Here, the climate is harsh, and the character is robust and stoic. Life is a dialogue with nature's immense power. In the north, the lush, mist-shrouded Black Sea coast shapes culture and character with its relentless rain and rich, deep forests. The people are known for their sharp humor, their passion for tea, and their intimate connection to the tumultuous sea. Food changes every few hours on the road. The way a simple meal is prepared, the spices used, the bread baked, it all shifts. Music changes. The melodic saz gives way to the intense drums of the east. Even silence sounds different. It is heavy with mountain air in one place and light with sea breeze in another. This is not one monolithic culture. This is a complex, beautiful tapestry of many cultures, histories, and dialects, all sharing the same Anatolian ground. So why is Istanbul the anomaly? Because Istanbul does not represent the median Turkish experience. It was never built to represent the Turkish people. It was built to represent boundless external power. It was a vacuum, a black hole of ambition. It ruthlessly absorbed people from everywhere on the planet, merchants, soldiers, scholars, exiles. It became a dizzying intersection of languages, conflicting ideas, and limitless ambitions. That made it incredibly rich and undeniably beautiful, but it also made it fundamentally disconnected from the land it nominally governed. It is a city on the edge, looking out while the rest of the country looks in. Most people in Türkiye do not wake up to the roar of global chaos and the gridlock of a 15 million-person metropolis. They wake up to quiet, tree-lined streets. They see low, traditional buildings, not a forest of indifferent skyscrapers. Their lives move at a slower, more deliberate, and arguably deeper pace. Their connection to their neighbor is tighter. Their traditions are not curated for tourists. They are simply how life is lived. Istanbul is the lightning strike. The rest of Türkiye is the steady, ancient current. The true, undeniable center of Türkiye is Anatolia. Not politically. That power resides in the planned modern capital of Ankara. But emotionally, spiritually, and historically, Anatolia is the heartland. This vast peninsula has been walked on, fought over, and preyed upon for not hundreds, but thousands of years. It is a palimpsest of civilizations. Hittites, Phrygians, Persians, Byzantines, Seljuks, Ottomans. Every dry stone, every dusty road, every olive tree remembers something. It's a museum without walls. Some cities in Anatolia were already old and established when Rome was just a muddy collection of huts. Some towns survived without ever seeking the bright light of fame or the burden of empire. They don't shout for attention. They don't ask to be seen in travel brochures. They simply exist in a state of quiet, dignified permanence, and that, perhaps, is their greatest strength. They are the bedrock of resilience, the reservoir of tradition, and the silent proof that a great nation's soul is found not in its flashiest capital, but in the depth and history of its soil. Let me introduce you to the real supporting cast of this epic. A city built in the shadow of an ancient volcano, whose name is synonymous with the people who fear and respect the towering mountain. We will visit Erzurum, a city where the stone walls of a mosque, a church, and a synagogue shared the same historical street. A testament to a beautiful, complex coexistence. We will travel to Mardin, a remote city cut off by meters of snow and ice for months at a time, forging a community defined by self-reliance and warmth. We will discover Kars, a vibrant hub in the southeast whose food culture is so legendary it has become a defining national symbol, celebrated globally. We will feast in Gaziantep, a city perched on the edge of a vast, ethereal lake, the largest in the region, whose unique ecosystem and history are known by too few. We will look at Van. These places don't appear on the standard tourist route. They don't have the marketing budget of the Bosphorus. But they, and hundreds more like them, define the raw, complex, deeply human soul of this country. This channel exists for one singular, crucial reason: to slow down, to step off the main highway, to turn down the forgotten dirt road, to listen to the stories told over Turkish coffee, to look closer at the subtle differences in the fabric of everyday life. Every episode will focus on one city, one town, one singular point on this massive map. We will excavate one story. We will chase one truth. Our mission is not to sell a destination. It is to understand a place, to peel back the layers of history, geography, and tradition that make each corner of Türkiye unique. We are searching for authenticity, not attraction. So, before we begin this monumental journey together, I ask you one thing. Forget what you think you know about Türkiye. Let go of the single, glittering image of Istanbul. The real adventure, the real learning, the real emotional connection with this ancient land starts now, beyond the walls of the imperial capital. Our map is blank. The road awaits. Which Anatolian city, full of untold history, should we visit first? Tell me your suggestions, your secret cities in the comments below, and welcome truly to the real Türkiye.